Hey everyone, I hope you're all feeling well. Today we'll go through 5 different steps to learn how to handstands. Those 5 steps are: first, we're gonna work on wrist mobility. Second, we're gonna work on the upper body strength. Third, we're gonna learn the form and the handstand principles. Fourth, we're gonna learn how to fall. And finally, we'll go through some exercises that will actually help you go into a handstand. Alright, so the first step is the wrist help. I know it sounds super lame, but I have to tell you guys, you need to do those exercises to keep your wrist healthy and to maintain a long and successful inversion practice. Because if you do practice every day and you get injured, then you won't be able to practice no more. So if you only take 2 minutes to do those exercises, I promise you'll feel comfortable practicing over and over. So the first thing is to come on all fours. You're gonna place your hands directly underneath your shoulders and make sure to create some space in between your fingers. Try to bring your elbows in so that your biceps are facing forward. And the first thing we'll do is just some circles. Go left, forward, right, and back. You can start with smaller circles and go to bigger ones if you feel more comfortable. We'll do 5 on each side. So this is the 4th one. Let's do a 5th one. Great, you can switch side. You're gonna go right, forward, left, and back. Make sure to keep your elbows locked as much as you can. Let's add 2 more. And finally, you can come back towards the center. You're gonna turn your left hand towards your left, your right hand towards your right, and just bring your body weight right and left. If you do feel comfortable here, I strongly suggest you add some rotation so you can go back, right, forward, and left. We'll do again 5 circles on each side. This is the 3rd one. Let's add 2 more. And finally, 1 more. And you can change side. You're gonna go forward, right, back, and left. Finally, let's add 1 more. Come back towards the center and put the back of your hands down, palm of your hands facing up. The first thing here would be to start locking your elbows to bring your elbows in, biceps facing forward. If it is too intense, you can bring your knees forward. Or if you do want to go deeper, you can actually bend your elbows and push yourself up as a push-up. Bring your elbows in for 1, bend, and lock your elbows for a 2nd one. Let's add 3 more. Bend your elbows and push up. Bend your elbows, push up for 4. And the last one, bend your elbows and push up for 5. Keep your hands like this. Just turn your fingers towards your knees and try to lock your elbows as much as you can. If you want to go deeper, you can inhale, bring your butt back. I won't do it, but if you do want to do it, you can. And let's add 4 more. So inhale backward. Exhale, come back. Inhale for 3. Exhale, come back. Inhale for 2. Exhale, come back. And the last one, inhale back. Exhale, come back. Put your hands back down on your mat and turn your fingers towards your knees, thumbs facing the outside to give your forearms a nice stretch. So here again, if it is too intense, you can bring your knees forward. Or if you can stay in the position. If you do want to go deeper, you can inhale, bring your butt back. You can lift the palm of your hands if you need to. And on your exhale, come back. 4. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale for a 3rd one. Exhale, come back. Inhale 2. Exhale back. And the last one, inhale backward. Exhale, come back and turn your fingers forward. This time I want you to inhale and bring your shoulders over your fingers as much as you can. Press into the ground with your fingertips and lean forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale forward. Exhale, come back. Keep the core engaged, don't sag down. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward 4. exhale, come back. And finally, inhale forward, exhale back. You can come sit on your heels. With your thumb and index finger, grab your left wrist. Create a small pressure on each side to feel the separation. You can do a small fist with your left hand and just do some rotation here, inward and outward. Change with your left hand, grab your right wrist, create a small pressure to feel the separation, close the fist, and do some rotation, inward and outward again. All right, you can release, shake it off, and we're ready to go to our second step. The second step is to work on the upper body strength. Muscle recruitment, core engagement, straight arm scapular strength, bent arm strength are all different concepts that will actually help you build and be stronger for your inversion. And you need to lay a good foundation to be able to practice, your handstand, because it's one thing to go in an inversion and it's another thing to actually hold your inversion. And the goal is for you to be able to practice, you need to be strong enough to hold and, do a lot of different exercises to be able to, at one point, hold your handstand. The first thing is to work retraction and protraction of the scapula. Retraction is when you bring your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Protraction is when you bring your shoulder blades away from your spine, which is when you can actually recruit a lot of strength. Let's do 5 motion like this. Bring your chest down, shoulder blades together for 1, push yourself up for 1, round to the upper back. Down and up, down and up for 3, down and up, finally down and up. Hold yourself up. Bring your feet back to go into a plank. This should be your plank in all your classes. You need to activate yourself as much as you can by pushing into the ground, rounding your upper back, contracting your glutes, bringing your belly in, engage your core, stay strong. This is how you can actually recruit some strength, by pushing yourself off the ground. Because I see a lot of students doing their planks like this, or even bringing their hips down, which is actually really not good for your lower back. You can injure yourself. So you need to push yourself off the ground as much as you can. In the handstand, you are on your hands and you need to push yourself off the ground as well. So you need to understand this motion. We can do the same exercise we just did, but in a plank. Bring your chest down, shoulder blades together, and push yourself up for 5, chest down and up, chest down and up for 3, down, up for 2, finally down and up. Bend your knees. Go into a child's pose, rest for a couple of seconds. Come sit on your heels. So you could feel just after those few exercises, your shoulders cooking, I'm sweating. It is pretty difficult, and it's basic motion and exercises, which is why it's super important to practice them over and over to become stronger at them. Let's move into a plank pose. Push yourself off the ground, round through the upper back, contract your glutes, stay strong as we just learned, and we'll move to the bent arm strength, which you can find in your crow or chaturanga. We'll actually be doing a couple of chaturanga here. So you're gonna lean forward, go on your tippy toes, bring your shoulders forward as much as you can, bend your elbows close to your body, don't sag down, stay strong, and push yourself up for 1, lean back. Lean forward, bend elbows, push yourself up, lean back. Let's go and add 3 more. Lean forward, bend your elbows, push yourself up and back. If you need to put your knees down, go ahead and do so. Lean forward, bend your elbows, push yourself up, lean back. And for the 5th and final one, lean forward, bend your elbows, push yourself up, sit on your heels. We'll give ourselves a break and we'll add 5 more. Obviously in this video, we will only talk about the upper body strength for a couple of minutes. So I'll do another video which will cover like a full workout. Now we're only going through a few exercises, but you can obviously do more repetition if it was not enough for you. Let's go back into your plank. Lean forward, bend your elbows, chaturanga for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your knees down and make your way on a seated position. Put your feet down, bring your knees together, stretch your arm forward and lift your feet. Let's move into a low boat position right away. Point your toes, bring all your spine down, bring your belly in, round through the upper back and bring your arms back. This feels like a handstand for me. It's the same position. If I were to press my hands backward, I would feel myself in a handstand. Obviously, I'm not in a handstand, but it's the same motion as all the body is completely engaged. Release. Lift for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Let's add one more. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug yourself. Bring your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a little love. And go back into your low boat position. Now we're gonna start rocking forward and back. Without actually moving your legs or your arms, I want you to do this action with only your core. So let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees to your chest, rock forward to a seated position. And let's move on to the third step. For the third step, we'll talk about the handstand principles and the form you should have in your handstands. The first thing is to be able to find balance. To find balance, we'll practice on our feet first. So you'll create some space in between your feet, hips distance apart. Bring your arms alongside the body. Close your eyes. Feel the weight centered. And then I want you to lean forward on your toes. Lift your heels off the ground. Then lean back on your heels and lift your toes. Lean forward and back. One last time, forward, back. Come back towards the center, open your eyes. This action is the same action we'll do when we are on our hands. It is really important to create some pressure with our fingertips and this part of your hands if you don't want to fall. You should be super active. So if you are on your feet, you lean forward, but don't put pressure with your toes, you'll probably fall. So you want to create this pressure with your toes. It's going to be the same with your hands. If you're falling, you want to catch yourself with your fingers, and if you're falling backwards, maybe activate this part of your hand to be able to stay in your handstand. Understanding balance is super important as it is the foundation for your handstand. So many students tell me, I want to have like a perfect form, I want to have a straight handstand, I want to do this, I want to do that. If you can find balance, then you can work on the form. But to work on the form, you first need to be able to remove the fear and be able to like train yourself to go on your hands. And so for example, if I go into a handstand, even though I don't have like the proper form, I could like bend my legs. They're completely loose, not engaged at all. I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. If you could find balance at the beginning, then you can work on improving your posture by locking your knees, pointing your toes, contracting your glutes, bringing your belly in, and doing all that stuff. What I want you to do is to work with your fingers so you can see how my fingers are activated on my mat. My elbows are locked. and I'm just pushing myself away from the ground as much as I can. This is what's important. Work on your hands. So if you come on all fours again, it's always the same thing. You need to have your hands directly underneath your shoulders. You want to activate your fingers on the ground to do like a spider shape with your hands. So all the weight is centered. Your hands directly underneath your shoulders. You should have a perfect line. You're gonna push with your fingers. Just practice activating your fingers on your mat. And even when you're working like plank pose, chaturanga, crow pose, all those postures, you need to be activated. And most of the people don't activate their hands. They don't do the protraction. They're not doing all those basic action that will actually help you go into a handstand. So it would be a lie to tell you you'll be able to handstand in 5 minutes. I don't think it's possible. You need to work through some simple exercises and to remove the fear. And to remove the fear, we're gonna go on to our fourth step, which is how to fall. Falling is a part of the journey, and I'm telling you, you will be falling over and over learning how to do handstand, and it's not wrong, it's not bad. I do fall all the time when I'm trying some more advanced posture, or if I'm just tired and trying to do handstand, I fall every day. The thing is, you need to get back up and start again. But the most important thing is to learn how to fall. You need to be mindful of your fall. So sometimes I just see people like kicking themselves into a handstand and like they fall on their back, and it's not fun, you know? You need to control everything you're doing and be mindful of the movement. So the first exercise we'll do is like a baby cartwheel. Basically, we used to do that when we were in like high school and a bit younger. And so we'll take baby steps for that one. What I want you to do is put your hand down away from you, then put the other hand down, do a little circle with your legs and just go on the other side. Again, put your hand down, do a little circle with your legs and fall on the other side. And you know, you just need to get comfortable doing this action a couple of times. And if you do feel comfortable, I know it sounds silly, but if you do feel comfortable doing that, we can start doing like better cartwheels. So you can start from up, put your hands down, do a nice circle and fall the other way. And with the more control, the better. So try to slow it down, put your hands, turn. Let's maybe do a couple of more. Good. And the last one. Great. So why are we doing that? When you are on your handstand, so I'll show you how to kick yourself in a handstand the next step, but just for the purpose of this part, I'll show you. So if you kick yourself into a handstand, you're about to fall, you look sideways, you put your feet down and you fall like if you were in the cartwheel movement. So again, you could do a really sloppy handstand, just kicking yourself up. Oops, I'm gonna fall. Look sideways, put your feet down and turn. You need to open your hips, put your feet down. If you do happen to miss this, then you're gonna fall back. I'm gonna show you how to. I don't recommend it because you need to be really aware of what's happening in order to protect your toes and yourself, but I'll still show you in case it does happen to you. So imagine you're going into a handstand. And you feel you're gonna fall backward, not sideways. The first thing you wanna do is bring your heels towards your butt. You wanna flex your toes, bring your chin in, and fall on your feet. Not on your back, but on your feet. As I said, I'd rather being comfortable falling sideways, and just try and do those a couple of times because it will remove the fear of practicing your handstand. Just go on your handstand, fall sideways. Go on your handstand and fall sideways. Even if in the next step we'll check it out, a few exercises. Even if you're going on the wall, you're going onto the wall and you feel like you're gonna fall, you look sideways, you put your feet down and you fall. If you're going the other way and kicking yourself onto the wall, you can look sideways and put your feet. And so you'll always be able to step out the same way, the safe way. And now we are ready to move on to the fifth step. All right, so this step is probably gonna be the most fun out of all of the steps we've done today. Obviously, I wanted to, tell you exactly what you needed to do to be able to handstand, but those exercises will get you the feel of the handstand. And so there's so many different exercises that we can do. Today, I'll show you a couple of them, and then I'll do some more videos explaining some more exercises for you. So let's start into a downward facing dog. You're gonna go on the tip of your toes, you're gonna bend your knees, bring your butt back towards your heels, and you're gonna do some small jump. You just kick yourself up, lift your hips, and go down. Again, kick yourself up for 2 and down. Kick yourself up, 3 and down. You need to bend your knees when you go up, and you need to bend your knees when you go down. So bend your knees, push yourself up for 4. Let's go for 5. Don't forget to activate your fingers on the mat. Let's go for 6, 7. Try to not make any noise. 8, 9, and 10. Put your knees down, take a break. So this exercise is really good just to understand the feel of going into a handstand. Again, you need to be aware of how much you're pushing yourself into the posture. You don't want to fall back. So just give yourself like a few small hop. Jump just a little bit. And when you start feeling comfortable, you can jump higher and maybe start holding your handstand a little bit, But at the beginning, do the smaller ones just to feel comfortable. We'll do a second set. Put your hands down, bring your feet back, lift your hips, go on the tip of your toes, bend your knees, bring your butt back, and jump for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. Put your knees down and relax. For the second exercise, I'll show it to you once and then we can do it all together. So you'll come in the downward facing dog again. You're gonna lift your right leg. You're gonna bend your left knee, and you're just gonna kick your right heel towards the ceiling and lift your left toes off the ground. So it will look like this, lift and go down. I want you to start with some baby jump. Just jump and down. When you're gonna feel comfortable, you can maybe bring your leg higher and your left foot higher. So to maybe catch a handstand one day. But we're just practicing here. So don't feel obliged to go all the way up and maybe fall. Work with control. And with control will come the handstand. So if you're doing it correctly, you'll just jump and maybe catch yourself and go down. Up, catch yourself, and slowly go down. Let's do it all together now. We'll do 5 on each side, 2 sets. So go in your downward facing dog, lift your right foot, bend your left knee, and kick your right heel towards the ceiling for 1, go down. Let's go for 2 and down, 3 and down, 4 and down, and finally 5 and down. Switch, put your right foot down, bend your right knee a little bit, lift your left foot off your mat, kick your left heel towards the ceiling, and jump for 1, for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put both of your feet down, sit on your heels. We'll do a second set in just a sec. Keep the breath going. And I think we're ready to move on our second set. Find your downward facing dog, lift your right foot, bend your left knee, and kick it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put your right foot down, lift your left foot, kick it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. Without even being in a handstand, those exercises are so tough, especially for my legs, my shoulders, and all my upper body. You can already feel that you need to work through those exercises before just jumping and going into a handstand. The next exercise is great to build up strength, especially in your shoulders, and really understand what it's like to be in a handstand. So you're gonna come close to the wall, you're gonna put your toes on the wall and bring your knees close to the wall. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. You're gonna just push with your hands, bring your butt towards your heels, put your feet on the wall, and stay for 5. Push with your hands as much as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your feet down, put your knees down, release, and we'll do 2 more. Second set. Put your hands down underneath your shoulders, put your toes on the wall, push with your hands, bring your butt back, put your feet on the wall and stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your feet down, knees down, and release before going into the third set. So some people will tell me my feet are sliding, the wall is sliding. The wall is not sliding. The way to keep your feet on the wall is to create as much pressure as you can with your hands and your feet. So let's move on to the third set. Put your toes on the wall, put your hands underneath your shoulders, push with your hands, engage your core, bring your butt back and stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Good job, amazing guys. So let's start all together. Bring your hands down, put your feet on the wall, and slowly walk yourself up. Stay strong through your core and go down. Don't put your feet down, stay strong. Go up and go down. We'll do a third one. Go up and go down. Put your feet down, put your knees down. Take a moment to breathe, reset. And actually, those exercises are so tough. We'll do 2 more. And if you can do more by yourself, go ahead and do so. But let's do it all together. Let's do 2 more. Put your hands, your feet on the wall, and walk back. Stay strong. Walk forward, walk back, walk forward, put your feet down, and release. Good job, guys, you're amazing. Let's move on to the final exercise. You're gonna come maybe like 30 centimeters off the wall. You're gonna put your hands down, you're gonna put your feet down to go into a downward facing dog. And we'll do the same motion as we did earlier. You're gonna kick yourself up, put your heels on the wall. If you can't put your heels on the wall, you'll fall back down. It's fine, you can kick yourself up again until you reach the wall and put your heels there. And just try to push with your hands as much as you can and stay for 10, 9, 8. You can look in between your thumbs to have a better balance for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly put your feet down, bend your knees, sit on your heels, reset, and we'll do 2 more. If you can lift one heel of the wall, do it. If you can lift both of your heels and put them back, do it as well, so you can have the feeling of the handstand. So let's go for a second set. Put your hands down, right heel or left heel, and kick it up. Find the wall, push yourself up. You can contract your glutes, point your toes, and stay strong. If you can remove one heel, do it. Put it back on the wall, remove the other one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your feet down, release, and prepare yourself for the 3rd and final set. All right, let's go right into it. Put your hands down, go into your downward facing dog, kick yourself up, catch yourself on the wall, and stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your feet down, sit on your heels. All right, guys, I'm really proud of you, and I'm happy you stayed until the end of the class. You can repeat all those exercises every day. Don't forget to warm up. Take your time. Don't rush into it. I promise you'll be able to do your handstands, but you just need to practice, you know? Like everything in life, you need to practice and put your might into it. And once you'll do it, you'll be able to find your handstand. See you soon. Namaste.